sitting on my couch. I've got my note paper and my pen in hand. My laptop is set up, and I am watching my next webinar. This one is going to change my life, I'm sure of it. That's going to be the ultimate answer that I finally have the epiphany that says, aha, here it is. And then in my head, I scream, shut up, shut up. Slam my laptop down, move it out of the way, and realize, yet again, here I am sitting on my couch. It's very frustrating. I realized that over the last little while, I've spent an awful lot of time sitting on my couch, watching webinars, praying for that miraculous moment when the idea comes that says, here I am, different, moving forward. And I'm back on the couch. It's sort of like being dressed to the nines, ready to go out on the town. And you go to the kitchen, make a bowl of popcorn, and sit on the couch and watch the Waltons. You've absolutely gone nowhere. And you look really good while you're doing it. I had the epiphany that all the knowledge in the world is not going to help me if I don't actually put it into action. And honestly, when you're in that rut of gathering knowledge, it's really hard to see, why am I not doing something with it? So I actually did some research on why am I, Cathy Needham, only sitting on the couch and not doing something with it. I went and found an article by a website called Offpad. There's no person listed, so Offpad wrote it. And the article is called Knowledge is Power. But knowledge without action is useless. And in there they talk about a learning pyramid done by the National Training Institute, which says that less than 5% of what you learn in a lecture do you retain after 24 hours. Less than 10% of something that you read do you retain for less than 24 hours. And less than 20% of an audio-visual presentation do you retain for less than 24 hours. That's a whole lot of time, and I have absolutely less than 20% to show for it. And that's within 24 hours, right? Imagine a week, 2 weeks. So I thought, okay, in the article it talks about some things that stop us. One of them is that knowledge is not knowing. So you can watch all the webinars you want, but actually putting it into action, that can be different. And again, you'll be back here. So you'll have all this knowledge, but no concrete steps forward. Another one that it talked about that resonated with me was that we overthink, right? I have watched a ton of webinars on building your own website, in my field of energy work, things like that. And yet I keep thinking, well, I don't know enough. I want to do this, but I don't really know enough, so I better watch another webinar about it. And again, I'm back here because I have this perfectionist bone that says until I know everything, I can't do anything. And quite frankly, when you get to everything, then there's too much information and you do nothing, because where do I start? I know all these things, I don't know where to start. It's a bad cycle and you're still in the rut. So I decided to go and learn some ways that could move me forward, because obviously I was missing that valuable component. I went to some websites and I learned 3 important things that I wanted to share with you. Number 1 was, they said, set filters, create a filter. So what is your objective? What's my goal? Then only look at information and webinars that meet that goal, that even meet your values, right? Do I want to do this because I just want to make money? Do I want to do this because I want to help someone? So what are my filters? And then stick with them. That's the thing I found with my webinars. Boy, I was, woo, that sounds good, that sounds good, that sounds good, and yeah, again, here I am, back on the couch. So, number 2 was to write about it. So have a notepad or a journal and write what you're learning, what stands out to you, what resonates with you. Write about it. And here was something that I thought would speak to Toastmasters. They said, write a speech or an article that actually teaches someone about what you just learned in that article. They said, in the articles that I studied, and I've done a little sheet for you that I'll pass out, they talk about that when you move it from hearing it to writing it and to implementing it, you learn it. And you find out what you don't know and what you could know better. And then the third thing was to teach someone about it. Quite frankly, when you teach, people can point out to you what they might not agree with, what they've heard that might be different, and you start to recognize what you really do know and what you really do not know, and that you're just there shining it on. I found those were important keys for me. I think that if the rubber doesn't hit the road, then you're back on your couch, and that you have to move it from one place to the next place. So I am learning to develop my filter, to be more effective in my writing. I started writing articles and posting poetry on the site Needham, which I love to do, and I love the feedback. And it's hard to post on there and not have any claps. But they say, it's okay, just keep doing it. So I'm just keep doing it. And then the third thing is teach people. Share what you've learned. It will help you to build it in your brain, and it will help you to help others perhaps have that same interest to make that one of their filters. John Maxwell said the greatest gap in the world is between learning, knowing, and doing. So my vote is, let's get doing.